Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to, I think this is part 4 of the mass journal making overview. In the last video we made the tabs and we made the tassels, and in this video I just wanted to kind of briefly show you the start of putting the tabs on and then hopefully putting the page decorations on. So off camera, if you can see, I already actually placed all of the tassels on the journals just so they're kind of ready and everything is with its journal. And then I took the little piles of finished tabs and I would lay these just right on top of each journal. So I'm just starting at one end of my pile here, and I'm at this one right here, and so I'm going to take my pile of tabs, set that to the side, and open up. And if you remember, I already have all of the designated pages for each journal. I may actually end up, I made more coffee dyed paper, so I may end up adding a few more pages to each of these journals, but I'm gonna wait till after I decorate all of the pages to see, you know, how much space there is. So I'm just gonna start on my pile here, and I just start by attaching these with the sewing machine. I did have to trim some of these down because I did make some of them too big, so I have my scissors handy. So for this portion of my process, I'm just sewing the tabs on. Now you might think it would make sense to also go ahead and take all of the page decorations to start placing on too, since I have my sewing machine. But again, for me, doing assembly line style, like a very simple tasks all at once, goes so much faster for me. So I'm not really going to show you a whole bunch of the tab part because I'm just going to be sewing and I won't be able to talk, but I kind of just start with the first page and I start at the top here, and then the next one I might not, so I don't put a tab on each page. I think I have 10 tabs and I have more pages than that, but I'll just randomly be like, okay, I want to put one on here or not, and I'll set it to the side. So sometimes I'll put it on the right hand side, sometimes the left hand side. And what I've been doing, because I wanted to add a little bit more decoration to the tabs, is I have some ephemera pieces down here. They're just Tim Holtz little pieces, and I might grab one. This one's a little label. I'm gonna actually put this one up and down and kind of sew it on the edge with the tab. I don't really like that one, so I try to have all of my small little die cuts handy. Okay, there we go, so that it's just a quick grab and go. And I've only been adding this to a few of them, but I'm just gonna hold that in place, do it quickly, and then I sew down. And so like I said, I start with the first tab, gonna be closest to the top, and then I just kind of randomly go down, but not to say that these pages will end up in this order that I have them, but by spacing it out that way, I know that the tabs will at least be kind of mixed around at varying heights, and so no matter where the pages end up in the signatures, I'll at least have tabs at, you know, the different varying heights, and I just like how that looks. So this goes a lot faster when I'm not filming, so I'm gonna finish this one up, and when I'm finished I'll show you what these kind of look like with all of the tabs on the side. And then I'm just going to continue on going down the line. And another reason, I don't know actually if I just, this one's too big, I don't remember if I finished my sentence earlier, but another reason why I don't like to go ahead and also attach the decorated pages is because what am I trying to say? Oh, is because instead of, let me just show you real quick a little example. And I sewed that one on a little crooked, but that's okay. So most of my decorated final pages are in this little box right here. And so instead of taking a journal and then just taking one by one the different page decorations, that could get a little messy and I might miss one, or I don't know, it's just, that doesn't sound like that's gonna work well to me. So what I'm gonna do is when I'm done with the tabs, I'll take you along with me on this video, and I'll go through that box and pick one of each of the page decorations, place it in the journal just kind of loosely, go on to the next journal, take one of each, so on and so forth, and then I'll grab that journal afterwards and we'll go through and either glue or sew those on. for me, that's just how it goes faster. So let's finish up here. I'm gonna finish these tabs and I'll show you what this looks like when we're done. And then I wanted to also say a couple more things. Within the pages, a lot of the journals have these two strips that are like 4 inches by 8 inches or whatever, and when you fold it in half, I have 2 strips together, it becomes a little pocket. And so I'm also not exactly sewing these shut quite yet, but I may add a tab on like this, and if I were to do that, then I do go ahead and sew the entire thing down so that the pocket is enclosed. If that makes sense. But that doesn't mean, so I just sewed all the way down, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish off by sewing all the way across and then up so that this is a pocket. But, so I'll finish that off in a moment. But if I come across any pages that have, some of them have like a fold up pocket like this one, unless I'm putting a tab on here, I'm probably not gonna sew that shut right now. I'm gonna take care of that when I'm doing all of the page decorations. Okay, so I have all of the tabs on, but now I wanna do even a last minute check. And I may add on some more bling or brads. Now remember, we already pre-decorated a lot of the tabs, but you didn't see me do everything off camera, and so you wouldn't know then that I didn't put a ton of things on. And so I do that now, and this part is going to be just completely different for each journal. But like for this one, I'm gonna go ahead, I just kind of see like what it all looks like together once I have the tabs sewn on. So there we have that one. I'm gonna add on, I have these little really cute paper or safety pins, and I'll place that one right here. I don't have a ton of dangly things other than the bulb pins with bells, but that's okay. And then I have a couple more things to show you for the tabs. And so remember, I'm doing this to each journal, and then I move on to the next, and I have about almost 30 journals. But I also have some lace that I have trimmed out. Now, even though I'm doing tabs mostly for these, I did decide that I wanted to go ahead and add maybe 1 or 2 strips of lace onto the pages just because I like how that looks. So I have that here, and each journal has, you know, a different amount of pages and types of pages, so I may or may not add the lace, but for this one I will add it to this tracing paper because I think that will look pretty. So I'm going to sew that on, and then I'll show you what this looks like finally. Now I just stack all of the papers back into a nice little bundle. I'm not even putting them into signatures yet. I'll be doing that on the next step. And I just place it in here as a placeholder, but you can see now, sorry guys, my phone is not silenced. You can see now how yummy that looks. I just love the page tabs. And I obviously made these to really be sticking out of the pages. I'm so sorry. Okay, so hopefully I cut out all the phone dinging in the background. If not, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, you can see I made these page tabs all to be sticking out of the journals. Normally I would do lace, but I just love how that looks. So now I'm just gonna kind of tie this closure just to hold everything in here. I'm gonna set it back in its place, grab the next one. Now I wanted to show you one more thing because I have another style of journals where these tabs are gonna be a little different. So I have my next journal, next pile of tabs, but now this journal has a wraparound flap. And so we're not going to be seeing the tabs on the inside edge, which is fine. I'm still gonna add some to the sides, but for the journals that have this wraparound flap, I'm also going to be putting some of the tabs on the tops here. And that's not any extra work or anything like that. I just go ahead and do it exactly like I was on the other journals, but just on the top pages. And so now I'm just going to finish going through that right now. So I just finished the top loading one, and so I'm just going to place those all together nicely so you can see, just to have an idea of my style and process. I put a few on the side here, and then I put a bunch on top. And this look might not be for everyone, but it's my style, and I try to be really true to my style when I'm creating journals. It's one reason why I don't really take on a lot of custom journals anymore, is because my style is important to me, and it's part of the reason why I love doing this. And so anyways, so you can see this is about where they will lay when the journal is closed. And so it's really not too much sticking up at top. I do try to make sure that it's not like, the tabs aren't like too big on the side or on top, but I still really love that look. So I'm gonna finish up all of these, and I think that's gonna be it for this video. So I wanted to end this video with just a little nice view of all of these journals, but I also wanted to let you know the total amount of time that it took me to sew all of the tabs on all of my journals, and I am just finishing up under 5.5 hours. So I don't usually get that big of a chunk to work on something all at once, but my kids are at grandma's house today, so I just kind of want to give you an idea of how much time truly goes into these journals, because there's still several more steps that I have to take that will probably be just about the same in time, but I'll probably have to break it up into smaller chunks of time. But they are looking awesome. I love all of the time and energy and all the different steps that goes into making these for you guys. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.